Yeah, thank you for your company and welcome to the very first GetUpDaily.com online radio show. I'm Andrew McCarthy-Wood with you for the next hour or so as we embark on this new adventure and get across what is happening in the Australian community. You can join the adventure in many, many ways. You can call us on 1-800-878-328 or 1-800-TRUE-AU and tell us what is on your mind. If you do this, remember to leave your name, the suburb and state you're in, and contact details along with your message to the world. You can also head to our contact page on trueau.news, that's the website, or leave a comment for us on social media. For that, head to Facebook and look for the trueau.news page. Now today, we have some great stuff for you, including a couple of interviews with Daryl Nicholson. He's our friend up at Toowoomba 4350 TV. Now, while he talks about what is happening across Toowoomba, Queensland region, he also chats with Councillor Eve Stocks. Councillor Stocks articulates really well how you and I, as a community, can help the community of Stanthorpe, Queensland, in their hour of need. This town is on the cusp of running out of water. Now that's sort of third world kind of stuff, and the immediate solution is to truck water from Warwick, which is another town running out of water. But on top of all of this, bushfires recently ravaged the Stanthorpe area. All this seems to be keeping visitors and tourists away. Well, they need the opposite, and now. So stay tuned and find out exactly what is going on and how you can help. All the while enjoying an adventure, mind you. Yeah, because Stanthorpe is a beautiful place. We're going to find out all about that later today. And it really was a compelling interview. It was one that Daryl did with Councillor Eve Stocks yesterday. We compiled it down for you, but if you want to get involved, I mentioned all of those different ways that you can, put your thoughts out there to the world and maybe have a bit of an impact on this show. It really is your show. You can get involved in it. One of the probably the main and most immediate ways is head to the Facebook page, so facebook.com/trueau.news. You'll see the live feed there of this radio show if you're not already consuming it, listening to it in that location, and there you can comment and get involved in that discussion. You can also head up to head to getupdaily.com. If you head to there, and there'll be links in that for all of the contact details. Now, if you're in the Moreton Bay region, you would have very, very interesting sound came about last night, and the sensation of, the first I knew of it is I actually smelled it before I heard it, and that was rain. We're based in Caboolture area of the Moreton Bay region, just north of Brisbane, south of the Sunshine Coast, and a beautiful lightning show ensued, but the rain was quite heavy, and there were photos that surfaced on Facebook where a couple of the backyards out the Belmia way, which is just out from Caboolture, people standing in ankle deep water. Now, unfortunately, that's probably because the drainage systems have not had any currency of water for quite some time, so is struggling with that type of thing. We need rain to continue. We need it to continue for quite some time. And if you head to the 1015fm.com.au website, which is a local radio station for the Moreton Bay region, they have still got up on the front of their website a total fire ban, so you can't take any of that for granted. But in the Queensland area, more particularly the Brisbane area, just taking a look at the 5-day outlook for the weather. So today we're looking at showers continuing this morning, a maximum of 24 with a minimum of 14. Wednesday partly cloudy, unfortunately, doesn't look like any rain, maximum of 24, minimum of 10. Thursday, sunny again, 25, the maximum, minimum of 11. Friday, sunny, 27, minimum 13. And Saturday, sunny, 28, minimum 15. So great weather to be getting out there and doing all sorts of things. And I'd encourage you, if you are looking for something to do this weekend, you really want to think about heading to Stanthorpe. Might sound crazy, given that they have they have a water shortage now, but stay around and listen to the interview. You will find out why you can get involved. And look, they may be a bit short on water. That's easily taken care of for you if you're visiting, but they certainly aren't short on wine and plenty of other things to do in the area. Let's just take a look at a couple of the headlines. News.com.au is running a headline: China set to unveil Dongfeng 41 nuclear weapon at military parade commemorating 70 years of communist rule. This has been getting quite a bit of attention in the media. China is set to unveil the ultimate doomsday weapon during one of the nation's biggest military parades on Tuesday, in a clear sign of the country's growing arsenal. A clutch of new military hardware is expected to take centre stage at a huge parade in China's capital, Beijing, on October 1, which is today, to mark 70 years of communist rule. It will take place in Tiananmen Square in front of officials, selected members of the public, and 188 military attaches from 97 countries. Now, over on the Australian, also staying with China, the headline reads, "Our economic miracle delivers Aussie dream," says China ambassador. So the Chinese ambassador Chen Jing says Australia should remember it depends on China for its economic success, as he urged greater mutual respect between the countries and a reduction in prejudices and suspicions. On the eve of the 70th anniversary of China's communist revolution, Mr. Chen lauded his country's miracle rise from a poor backwards country to the world's second largest economy. So there's a bit there for food for thought. You may want to get involved and comment on anything that we've been talking about this morning. You can do that by giving us a call on 1800 878 328. Leave all of your details, including contact details, so we can get in touch with you. If you will be calling that. You'll be presented with a message service. Look, articulate what you've got to say. Tell us the suburb that you're from in a state, like, for example, Andrew, Brisbane, Queensland, and I want to talk about blah, 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 blah. If you formulate that, we may just put that straight to air or give you a call back or get in contact with you for an interview so that you can have your say, which is a great thing. So without further ado, I think we might head off to some music and... we'll then bring you those interviews as we head on through the morning.
Boys don't cry under the influence. You and I did not make a sense. Tell me why you're putting on a fence. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Endless game, when's it gonna end? We became what we should condemn. You and I, we were more than friends. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Look ahead, somewhere down the line, words unsaid, will they undermine? Dry your eyes, everything's just fine. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Wearing thin, is it just for show? Where you been? I don't wanna know. You say hi when you're
had feared that my days were over. That emptiness is hard to pass. To fill that gap, you need to open up. All your days are over. But you sent your light to be found now. It's like my engines overflow, and I feel it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, is love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting over these emotions, love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. Sometimes I recall, repeat it all, the hopelessness, the bitter taste of fear, that my days were over. But you sent your light to find me. It's like my engines overflow, and I feel it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, is love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting over these emotions, love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. My love, my love. Give it one try, you will see. If you give it away, you'll be free tonight. It's like my engines overflow, and I feel it's time to go. Oh, we are in this rush, is love in the fast lane. I feel I'm strong beyond belief, and this is happening to me. I'm shouting over these emotions, love in the fast lane. I finally found my love. I finally found my love. I finally found my love.
If you've been following our adventures, you know that we've recently been on a road trip, and we went down the Newell Highway right down to Wagga Wagga and back up into Queensland. It was a big circle, and this was the opportunity to see the contrasting areas of the country. Down in Wagga Wagga, plenty of water, it's green, and we came back up through Stanthorpe, and we've been talking with Daryl from 4350 TV, and he'd been telling us about the challenges that Stanthorpe had been going through, but to actually come up the New England Highway and past Stanthorpe and to actually see it, and to see the devastation the fires have been through there, they're running out of water, there's all sorts of challenges that they're presented with, but some of those challenges you can actually help out with, and you're about to find out about that. On the line we have both Councillor Eve Stocks, who's all over this, and also Daryl from 4350 TV, who's going to interview about Eve Stocks about this, and I'm sure he's got a lot of comments to make. Daryl, how are you?
I'm going very well, Andrew. Thanks for this opportunity. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Councillor Eve Stocks, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Andrew.
Awesome. Okay, Daryl, you've got a fair few questions and a bit of a conversation to have with Eve Stocks. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, sure. Morning, Eve. Welcome along. We caught up about, I think it's going back nearly 4 or 5 weeks ago now. It was a Friday, and we caught up in the CBD of Stanthorpe. Had a bit of a chat about encouraging people to come out to Stanthorpe. Bang, the fires happened that afternoon. So just give us a bit of rundown what's happened since the fires and how the community's gathered together.
Well, the community has gathered together because they're in the recovery phase now. So just over the last weekend, they had a couple of big events down there at the Christmas farm and at the showgrounds with some music and whatever, free events for people to come along and just have a good time and come together and be able to talk about the disaster that's happened down there. Now, when I say disaster, the town itself was not burnt. It was certainly on the edge of the town and then along down at Ballandine in the forest. So there is a lot of damage from the bushfires. And unfortunately, that's made a lot of people cancel their accommodation, particularly over, we're in school holidays now, and so many of the accommodation operators are saying that people have just cancelled their accommodation because they think there's nothing to see and do. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. There is plenty to see and do. There's still all parts of the national park that was not burnt, so there's plenty of things to do there. There's waterfalls at Killarney, so if they want to come a little bit further afield, all of that's beautiful. There's certainly water there to have a look at. But what we want to get the message across for is for people to come. We need the outside dollar to be brought into the town to help the businesses, because the businesses are really suffering. And we haven't run out of water. And sure, it would be helpful if you bought your own drinking water, for instance, but we want you to book into the accommodation, have a holiday. They haven't run out of water. So you just have to be mindful of what you use.
That's right, and I think people are seeing stuff on the news and they're seeing all the water being transported in and they're thinking, oh, geez, it's really a crisis, it's an emergency, but it's just more of an assistance. And I said to a friend of mine out there, I wish rain for you, and she said, we just wish for tourists. Really need some tourism.
Yes, we do. Of course we wish for rain as well, because it's the only thing, and it has to be a lot of rain to end this drought, because it's definitely the worst one that has ever been, in the history of the towns. The farmers who've been here forever have said it has never been like this. And, of course, even the groundwater isn't there anymore that used to be there, because there's been nothing to replenish it. But, look, we will be getting water trucked in when we do look like we're running out down there. And at this stage, it's still around December. We've actually got some funding from the government. We gave them a really good submission and a business plan, and they've given us money to fund the building of the water tanks and by the dam to bring in the trucked water, and it's connected straight to the water treatment plant. And
beautiful,
all that's in place, and the government has even promised us $800,000 per month to truck in water. Now, while we're talking about that, that's our water from Warwick that will go down there. When we get to a stage where we can't use the Warwick water anymore and we have to truck it from elsewhere, then it will certainly cost a lot more than that. But we're just going to hope it's going to rain before then.
Yeah, look, we got some in Toowoomba over the weekend. We got rain and hail, and there was rain around the region, so let's put it out there that we do get more. Look, I want to thank you, and a big shout-out. We've got the Community Day out there at Stanthorpe this Saturday, the 5th of October, so encourage people to go out there.
Please come. Yeah, please come, everybody. Book a few days during the school holidays. We'd love to have you out there. You'll be most welcome in town and in the region. People will make you feel very welcome, and they'll be able to tell you all the things that you can see and do.
Yeah, even Daryl, I've got a couple of things I'd like to just jump in and just ask. Look, sure. Daryl, you're on the ground out there regularly. You and I have had conversations, and one of the sayings I've heard you say is that they might be a little bit low on water, but they surely aren't on wine, and that is a belt that you can do a wine tour. So my question, yeah, absolutely. I saw that on one of the billboards. Yeah. So my question to both of you is, as a tourist now, admittedly, I've spent quite a bit of time in Stanthorpe over the years. I've been involved in a few projects out there, but coming up through the highway, I didn't turn off and actually check Stanthorpe out. For a tourist or somebody from Brisbane, Queensland, the greater area, heading out to Stanthorpe, what are some of the things that we can enjoy out there?
Well, if you'd like me to step in there, Daryl,
go for it, please.
There's a beautiful shopping strip in town, and the shops are, because it's not a big shopping centre, it's strip shopping in the main street. There's much more variety in what you can see and buy, and beautiful shoe shops, clothing shops, all sorts of shops. Lots of eateries. They have great cafes in town. And, please make the effort and turn off and go into town. You can, get your lunch or morning tea there, and people would be very happy to see you.
Now, look, bring Stelly and Poppy's Cafe, just beautiful. And best Thai at Poppy's Cafe, love it.
Yeah, there's still a bakery on the main street there, isn't there? I remember last, going back, it was a couple of years ago, they used to have those chocolate hot cross buns, and gee, they were freshly made. Not that it's Easter now, but definitely getting out there. There's still food. You can still look, at the end of the day, the retail shops are going to have water there anyway, because a lot of us buy the water, in bottles and whatever else. Now, putting aside that we need to be a little bit careful about that in the environment, but you're not going to go out there and not be able to drink water. But you have an economy that really needs the support of the community. It's time to step up. You're probably looking at plans for this weekend anyway, and you might be, if you're on the coast, quite often you sort of think it's easy. You can head up the coast and do what you usually do, but maybe think about something different. And look, there's a road trip that we love to do, and we do it regularly, and Daryl's going to laugh at this because he shakes his head every time we talk about this, but we're based in the Moreton Bay region, and we regularly drive up to Toowoomba for two main things, either scones and jams at Picnic Point there, or the satay chicken at I think it's called Junk, isn't it, Daryl?
Junk, that's it,
Yep. And then we turn around and come back, and we make a bit of a road trip of it. There's, the bakery on the way at Blackbutt. But what we're going to do, we're going to head out to Stanthorpe. We're going to extend that trip. We're going to enjoy Stanthorpe. And Daryl, I'm thinking maybe you and I need to do a bit of an outside broadcast at Stanthorpe, eh?
That'd be great. Excellent, mate. That would be outstanding. And you'll love the scones and cream and jam at Brink's Deli. It's beautiful.
Yes, Brink's. And Zest is also fabulous. They make their own pastries there. The food is wonderful there.
Yeah,
and when you do decide to come to Stanthorpe for your outside broadcast, please let me know, because I'd like to come too.
Oh, absolutely. We would love to have you involved. Now, Stanthorpe, let's we've talked about Stanthorpe itself, but let's talk about the greater Stanthorpe region, Girraween National Park. What's the state of that? Can people still check out parts of that at the moment?
Yes, of course they can. There were some bushfires went through there earlier this year, but of course all the regrowth has happened now. So you can probably see things that you couldn't see before. But, it's wonderful to take the family into the national parks and into Girraween and all of those places. And there is actually a resort at Girraween, to stay right in the middle of everything. Certainly there's all that to do. There's the Christmas farm. That's a great place to take the kids. They've got reindeer. The Law Dog show. There's lots of things for families to do, and they don't have to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, look, Daryl, Eve, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for putting this on the radar. Eve, you're a great advocate, as we say. Look, Daryl's an advocate for Toowoomba, and he gets out to Stanthorpe as well. To hear you talk so passionately about Stanthorpe, I'm sure that your community's really going to appreciate that.
It's not hard to be passionate about something when you believe in it.
That's it. Love it.
Well, thank you very much for having me, the both of you.
If you've been following our adventures, you know that we've recently been on a road trip, and we went down the Newell Highway right down to Wagga Wagga. And
I wake up on Sunday morning, feel that ache inside my heart. I can hold on any longer, seconds from falling apart. Wasn't like any other summer, soon it left that warm summer breeze. Although you gave me your promise that you were never gonna leave,
Yeah, 27 minutes past 7. Thank you very much for your company. This is the very, very first GetUpDaily.com radio show. You can get involved. Give us a call on 1-800-878-328. Leave all your details there and what you have to say. If you articulate that really, really well, we may actually take that, put that straight to air. Or we could get back in contact with you, and maybe if you've got something that needs to be discussed out, we can chat about that and share that with the community. You can also head to getupdaily.com, and there's a contact form there, so you can leave your details there or whatever it is that's on your mind. And if you're into social, you can head to Facebook /trueau.news and join the conversation there, where we are live streaming this radio show. Now, if you're in the Moreton Bay region and or north of it and you're heading to Brisbane, you've got a wait from the Caboolture area down into Brisbane, or traffic ahead of you, that will take you about an hour and 10 minutes to get into Brisbane as that traffic builds. Also, while we have had some beautiful rain, just bear in mind, if you're on the 1015fm.com.au website, you'll see on the front page there's still a total fire ban in place, and that's set to stay there for some time. So it's not necessarily drought-breaking rain at this stage. There were photos on social media overnight of people standing in ankle-deep water, but that was really because the water couldn't get away, with the drainage systems not having taken any currency of water for quite some time. Now, that interview that you heard earlier with Councillor Eve Stocks and our friend Daryl Nicholson from 4350 TV, that's the Toowoomba platform up there, you can go and listen to it or read the transcript. Just head to trueau.news. Plenty coming up today, so stay with us. We're with you for around about another half an hour.
I met him on a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level. Cause I wanted that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I couldn't get him off my mind. Lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own.
Welcome to What's On in Toowoomba, trueau.news. This is a weekly podcast with Toowoomba advocate Daryl Nicholson, who owns and runs Toowoomba 4350 TV. My name is Andrew McCarthy-Wood. Thank you for your company on this community podcast. Let's do that again. Podcast is brought to you by Leading Engagement Solutions. If you have a business, group or organisation, engagement is so much more effective than just marketing. So find out how Leading Engagement Solutions can get you much better and more effective results. Give Claire a call on 0401 439 612 or pop your inquiry into the contact form on the trueau.news website and we'll pass it on to her. So Daryl, you've been out and around Toowoomba and you're telling us there's some exciting news, but what's on, mate?
Oh, mate, let's just do a quick wrap-up. I've just had a quick look through the paper and some news from the weekend, but the Qantas Training School officially opens today in Toowoomba, which is exciting news. The facility's been built at Wellcamp, so the students are opening their books today out of the University of Southern Queensland until that facility is available, which will take about a year. But that's really exciting news for Wagners and for the Toowoomba Airport and for the Toowoomba region. So Qantas Training School are now in town and officially doing business. Mate, the Spring Polo wrapped up for 2019 on Saturday. And, mate, can I say, it did happen in rain, hail and shine. They had everything.
Really?
Yeah, and you know where I am in East Toowoomba, I could hear the crowds cheer when the rain came down and then a bit of hail. So it was not, and the sun came back out again. But unfortunately, it's not returning for 2020 due to the drought, due to Wheatwood Carnival has been moved to the same time period, which the Polo are a bit worried about, and of course some of the insurance issues and the drought issues with horses and availability of riders and horses. So unless we get some rain, it's going to have a knock-on effect. So no Polo for 2020, but definitely if there's enough business interest in 2021, they will bring that back. So I'll have a talk to the girls of the events group, and I'm going to see if I can get behind that one as well and talk to them about what we do. Mate, the carnival is over. It's over. It finished on Sunday, which was really sad, 10 days. But
Mate, the wrap-up, how did it go?
Mate, over about $20 million they're predicting came into the economy. Jeff McDonald quoted that hundreds of thousands of people have visited the city over the time, and I wouldn't doubt that, so they've got to wait and get the figures in. 80,000 people they predicted watched the parade, which I would think that would be right. Whether it was bigger than last year or not, I've got a feeling it was about the same as last year, so I'm pretty happy with what happened for the 70th year. And, mate, big crowds Friday night, about 10,000 into the Food and Wine. Saturday, capacity for the concert series there in Food and Wine, there was about 12,000. I went Sunday. They closed the ticket sales off at midday for John Farnham. Mate, what a true showman. Didn't have any more dad jokes. He's given away his dad jokes, but certainly can entertain and just own the stage and had the crowd singing You're the Voice really loud. And it was good to see all the food and wine and all the food from the Granite Belt. There was a lot of Granite Belt wine there, so I must say Paula and I got stuck into her wines. We enjoyed a couple of bottles, and I'm going to give a shout out to Fitz's mate, tacos, $10 tacos.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant. And Brad might kill me for saying this, but he was doing about 100 tacos every hour. But yeah, he was having a ball there. All the food people said they had good trade, and mate, they're all looking forward to 2020 for the carnival as well. Mate, excuse me, James Street. We've drove down James Street and there's been more movement, more listings are coming on board.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's interest from people getting appraisals from real estate agents. Looks like the values have gone up a little bit, so some of the agents are saying up to $10,000 added onto the properties, so there's increased awareness for buyers and increased awareness for sellers to get those properties out there on the market, because it is quiet now, mate. It's a quiet street.
Hey, you and I took a drive there, and you know, like I've been up to Toowoomba so many times, and James Street has always been one of those roads that you wrestle. If you need to cross it, you're looking out for, you know, not just the cars. You're trying to get in between those trucks, and some of those are quite overbearing. So that's changed, eh?
Yeah, mate. And look, there'll be no more rollovers there. There's that road that comes down into James Street. It's a bit of an incline. There's been heaps of rollovers there, so look, there'll be no more rollovers there, which would be great. So that bypass is certainly doing its job. But I went to the Queen's Park Market yesterday down at Queen's Park. They've had a bit of a challenging year with weather, with wind and rain through the year, and they had a beautiful day yesterday, and now getting behind a new charity. So what they do is there were about 60 marketeers there yesterday. Each month they run that market, and this time they've chosen a new charity. They're supporting Big Dog Support Services, which have a magazine called What's Up in Disability. So, mate, for that charity, they're looking at $12,000 to $15,000 a year from the markets going into that charity. So,
Wow.
Good work there. Did an interview with Stephen Paul yesterday. He's the director of Big Dog Security. It was a live stream. And Stephen and the team at Big Dog and What's Up in Disability are excited to be part of Queen's Park Market. So can you really support that market in November? I'm going to do a live stream from there. They've got some exciting musicians and exciting stall holders, and really want to get that one back on the map, the Queen's Park Markets, because it has, as I said, struggled. They go set up on a Sunday, and there's the dangers of outdoor stuff, wind or rain, and they just had a cracker of a day yesterday. It was really good.
Yeah, and anybody looking for those live streams that you're talking about, they head to Facebook, 4350TV. Daryl, you've got it all there, being the advocate for Toowoomba that you are. Then they can really scroll through and see a whole lot of information, including what you're talking about now, hey?
Definitely, mate. Definitely. As I was saying to you offline, there's so much going on. So just quickly, Johnny Ruffo's in town this Saturday, October the 5th. He's being hosted by Rosalie House Sellers. Johnny Ruffo woke up one day in hospital, mate. He had a brain tumour. He did a brain operation. So he's a brain cancer survivor, and he's working with Tracy Gollan, who you met at Carnival. She's been affected by brain cancer. She's raising funds for, mate, I've got to be careful here, FU brain cancer, so the FU brain cancer. So
I see why you're handling that delicately, yeah.
That's right, because they really want to get rid of brain cancer, so that's what they're doing. So that's on Saturday, 5th of October. Still tickets are available. 5th of October, of course, the Stanthorpe Community Day out at Stanthorpe. Heaps to do out there, 10 till 10. It might be 12 till 10 now, but it's a big afternoon to thank all the community emergency services. The Akka Daka Band are playing, Catherine the Band's playing, 9 Years Sister, Smooth Talk, and a big shout out to Cole Finley, and especially to Peter Campbell. He's a local Toowoomba. He's taking his band out there, a really good musician, and Tommy Miller are going to play out there as well. So lots of classic cars, live music. Got to RSVP, go to the Facebook page, Stanthorpe Community Day, and just RSVP, but there'll be food and drink available. And just take your bottled water out there. Don't be afraid to flush the toilets, because they've still got plenty of water in the dams, but till November, and then they're pumping water in. So do encourage you to jump in the car and jump out to Stanthorpe.
And you're not, and I'm just going to jump in there really quickly, because you're not just encouraging people to head out there for the sake of a good time. That community really needs people to get out there and put some money into that economy out there, hey?
Yeah, definitely, mate. They definitely do. So, as I said, my friend Paula, I said, I wish rain for you, Paula. She said, we wish for some tourists, because there were declining numbers last week for the first week of school holidays. A lot of motels are empty in the B&Bs, and that's really sad. And don't be afraid to go out there. Bring your bottled water, and they have got tap water, but just be conscious when you're using the taps. But don't be afraid to go out there. And, mate, the fires are all out. Everything's good. It's just a bit black, but that will come back with regrowth when they get a little bit of rain out there. So, yeah, do that. Head out there. Mate, October the 6th, and this is my last thing, Gina Jeffries is in town. I'm going to get in touch with her this week, and, and Rod McCormack, see if I can catch up with Gina. Abbey Road to the Empire, it's music of the Beatles. Mate, there is so many entertainers there. Gina Jeffries is a headlining act. James Royal was famous in London and the UK. He now calls Toowoomba home. So he's on stage. He's a character, mate. He's 70. He's loud. He loves music. He had hit-selling records in London and the UK, but he calls Toowoomba home. Dale Robbins, Ross Kessler, Don Duffus, Project 62. They're a young grunge band. They're going to do 3 Beatles songs. Dawn of Creation, Turnbull, Mason the Motor. Mace is, again, grunge, and he's also laid back, but he's going to do Beatles. The Hobsons, Sharon Matheson. It goes on and on, mate. There's so many names here. And they're going to have a 50-piece choir included as well. So Abbey Road to the Empire, might be still some tickets available. Just check their Facebook page. They're going to have it nice and early, because it's grand final day this Sunday for the NRL. So they want to do the concert 2 o'clock, get it all finished by 6 so everyone can get home and cheer on the NRL. And, mate, I cannot think who's playing in the NRL. It's just lost my mind. So that's what's going on, mate. And just quickly, Friday, the 4th of October to Saturday the 13th of October out at Pittsworth. We haven't talked about Pittsworth before.
No.
But they're having their spring art exhibition. So the Pittsworth Spring Arts Exhibition features over 100 original works of art, pottery and woodcraft by local members. So it's at the Pittsworth Art Gallery at 50 Short Street, Pittsworth. So, mate, I'm even going to jump out the car over that week and just see what's going on out at Pittsworth, because that's one community that needs help as well. So, mate, that's my sort of wrap-up. That's a lot. As I said, mate, every week I just get amazed with what's going on in our... If anyone says there's nothing to do in Toowoomba region, I'd rebut that. Just look at what I've just come up with in a matter of 20 minutes research.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, and you're in the middle of it. Look, Daryl, thank you very much for your time. If you're in the Toowoomba region and have a community event coming up, let Daryl know by going to the trueau.news website and putting your details into the contact form. We'll pass those details on to Daryl, the Toowoomba advocate.
Great stuff, mate. Toowoomba 4358 TV, more than just a postcode. It's all that community.
Yeah, 47 minutes past 7 o'clock. Thank you very much for your company this morning. You're listening to GetUpDaily.com, where we share everything and anything that's happening in and around Australia and anything that affects Australia, that might be worldwide. But if you're in the Moreton Bay region, you would have enjoyed the... I guess it's unusual at this stage because we haven't had it for so long, but the rain And, there were some areas that ended up with just, ankle deep water and whatever else. Our Bribie Island, the Facebook page, has put up the question, do you have a rain gauge? How much rain did you get overnight? There's been a few people that have responded to this. Rory said 14 millimetres, and that was at Bongaree. Sue, 20 millimetres at Banksia Beach. Danny, I think she wins at Ningi, 32 millimetres, and then Rob also 14 millimetres at Bongaree. So Bongaree got a solid 14 millimetres, but it looks like Ningi may have got 32 millimetres. Now, this rain is set to dissipate over the next day and head back to sunshine. We do need a whole lot more of it, but nowhere near as much as those places such as Warwick, Stanthorpe, and as I mentioned earlier in this show, we've just recently done a road trip. We started from the Moreton Bay region, headed out over Toowoomba, then Warwick. Actually, for Toowoomba, we did a live broadcast out there for the Toowoomba Carnival of Flowers, which was absolutely sensational, well attended, and in these drought conditions, they managed to still really put on a show with the flowers, but you could really tell the grass was, where it wasn't non-existent. It was, when it goes brown and it goes to the point where that grass starts to get a bit powdery in places, and Queen's Park, which we have seen absolutely beautiful and green, it's really struggling with the grass, but they managed to put in the huge efforts that they did and put on a great festival with beautiful flowers and really show the pride of that town. But on that road trip, we then left from there through Warwick, the Newell Highway, down the Newell Highway, through those towns along the way, and stayed at Wagga Wagga for a bit. We had a business meeting that we had to attend there, and that place is beautiful. It's green. There's no evidence there that they're struggling as far as water goes anyway. But then coming back up, we went up over the Blue Mountains across the New England Highway, and once you got north of those Blue Mountains, you could just see that, that dryness and those drought conditions. And it really was a contrast to see green down in Wagga Wagga, and then what we saw ahead of us, including coming through a few towns and, fires and all of those sorts of things. But what really needs to happen is the community needs to get behind regional, Queensland, New South Wales, and for that matter, regional Australia, and just go out there, enjoy it. There's some beautiful places to visit. We enjoyed every bit of that trip. There's so much history to check out. There's towns with, characters, people, businesses, all doing a great job out there, and they're very, very welcoming. We had such a great time. Like accommodation, we pretty well did not pay over $100 a night for accommodation in any of the motels that we stayed on the trip. And wow, some of them we actually enjoy going to, some of those motels that they're quintessential. They've been stuck in a bit of a time warp. Clean, tidy, absolutely beautiful to stay in, but it's like stepping back 15, 20 years and taking in like the old tiles and carpet and decor and that. But that's a part of our, richness that we have. When you get out and do a road trip, and now more than ever is a great time to go and do that and just drop, it might not be a whole lot, but just drop a little bit of money into those local economies. Now, Stanthorpe, they have an event on this Saturday, and we've just been discussing it. We're going to head out there for this Saturday to be part of that, and I'd encourage everybody that is at a bit of a loose end this weekend, this Saturday. Even if you're not, put this into your calendar and head out there and just enjoy the town. Look, be a good citizen when you go out there. Understand that they are under pressure. They're under stress. They've, they're looking down the barrel of running out of day-to-day water and having to tank that in. And as I mentioned earlier, the solution to that is trucking it in from Warwick, which is also under pressure and, looking like it's going to run out of water if we don't see rain soon. But get out there, enjoy it, check out the places, some beautiful places around it. Gurween National Park, I've checked that out a number of times. There's walking tracks of all sorts of grades. If you just want a bit of a stroll through the park, you can do that. And you can also head on out around some of that granite and it's an adventure. Join the adventure. Now, with this show, you can get involved. You can give us a call on 1800 878 328 if you wish to leave a message, leave all your details and, articulate what it is that you want to broadcast that may be on your mind. If you do that well, we may take that straight from there and broadcast it live. We may also get in contact with you if there's something to discuss, and you could be, triggering the very next conversation live around Australia. Also, you can head to getupdaily.com where you will see links there and all of the information to be able to leave details there. And there'll be a link there too to the podcast. Speaking of that, the What's On in Toowoomba podcast, as well as the interview that we did earlier with Daryl. Both of those with Daryl. He's been heavily involved with us as we kick off this show for the very, very first time. But those podcasts are on the on that website there. You'll see the link there to listen to those podcasts on demand. Also, you can if you're into social, head to Facebook, facebook.com/trueau.news. Get involved there, leave a comment, and you can stimulate the conversation and set the direction. It is your show. Currently, it's under 7 minutes to 8 o'clock.
Hold on when you need a friend, I'll never let you go again. Reach out when your mind's uneasy, 'cause I'll understand. Hold on when you need a friend, I'll stay here to the end. Get up, don't hang your head, we'll take it step by step. Fell inside, now I'm living in a matchbox. All this time, all it needed was a little spark. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. You're better than you know. When facing times of doubt, stand up and you grow. Don't let it get to you. You're better than you know. My heart was dead and broken, but now it's found a home. Fell inside, now I'm living in a matchbox. All this time, all it needed was a little spark. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head. Give me my heart back, 'cause somebody stole it and put it in your head.
3 minutes to 8 o'clock. Thank you very much for your company. You're listening to GetUpDaily.com. You can get involved. Give us a call on 1800 878 328. Leave a detailed message including the suburb and state that you're from, and we may get in touch with you. Or just, if you articulate it well, we'll just broadcast what you have to say. Now, just taking a look at the radar for Queensland. Out from Brisbane, we have heavy rain coming across Caboolture and heading out to the coast. Narangba, Caboolture, Redcliffe, they're all getting a bit of rain there. Unfortunately, west of that is still really very dry. Now, keep in mind that on the roads, you need to be really, really careful on those roads, because not only are they slippery because of the rain, but you're looking at all of those other residues of oil and everything else because it hasn't rained for so long. Now, the Bruce Highway from Caboolture down into Brisbane, there is congestion. You're looking at about an hour and 11 minutes to make your way into Brisbane with heavy congestion in areas. The usual suspect areas being Mango Hill, North Lakes, all of that sort of area, and then Beams Road. But yeah, if you just take it easy, we need that rain. We need more of it. We actually need it way further out west, as you can imagine. There's a whole lot happening around Australia at the moment, and I hope that we have just helped start your day with GetUpDaily.com. As the very, very first radio show. Thank you very, very much for your company and being involved in it. This is something that we're looking to build out, and who knows, it may go for longer than an hour in the future. Now, we are planning on heading out to Stanthorpe this weekend, and we will bring you all of the updates and what happened or is to happen out there over the weekend in the following week. But that's it for me. I'm Andrew McCarthy Wood. Thank you very, very much for your company.